Hey, it's Treanor with another Tuesday tip. Just a fascinating conversation here at CMO Huddles land. We spent the first 15 minutes talking about the major recruiting challenges that every CMO is facing. It's real, it's painful, it's expensive. The second part of the conversation was on brand and ways of measuring, ways of selling it in. And so we've got some tips here that we're going to share in the world of brand and B2B. Jen Houston, D-Wave, what's your tip?
My tip is brand's all about your people. So make sure you understand the requirements of your own people and then translate those to the customers. If you don't have that alignment, it won't be authentic.
And so what are we talking about doing when we say it's all about the people? How do we make sure that the people understand the brand or the brand is built from the people?
Yeah, I was asked once, who owns the brand at your company? And I think the answer to that better be every one of us. And so I think it's really that intersection of the collective ownership of the team. And then how does that show up in the way you engage with customers? And are you making that a buying experience that is pleasant and positive and easy to use? Or is there a disconnect between that customer experience and that
I love it. It does always start with employees. Okay, great. Martin O'Leary with Tap Payments. What's your tip?
My tip would be to speak to your customers, understand what they feel about your brand, and ensure that's aligned with your internal team. And if there is a delta between what the customers believe about your brand and what your internal team feel about your brand, that's your action plan for the next 3 to 6 months.
There it is. And what a progression. We start with employees and then we go to customers. Okay, Jamie Gier of Ceros, what's your tip?
I would say to make the investment to really understand why buyers consider your brand over the other options and play to those consideration strengths. I would also say to link that to how you can increase market share by either playing to your consideration attributes or removing the detractors as to why people would not do business with you. So making that investment.
So we're making an investment, just to be clear, we're making an investment to understand, maybe it's market research, so that you have a starting point where you know where your strengths are and the strengths that if you lean into those strengths, you'll grow the business, and your detractions that are costing you business. And then you go and execute. Did I get that right?
That is correct. And then you're going to want to go back and measure again to make sure that the programs you put into place, whether it's messaging or actual programming, is having a material impact.
Awesome. Okay, we've done employees, customers, we're talking metrics. Ed Breault from Aprimo, what's your tip?
The micro brand promises should not be forgotten about. What I mean by that is not just the brand promise we create that buyers can expect of us once they get the product, but what's behind the button click? What's behind the ad? Make sure that what we send them to is exactly what we said it was going to be.
Right. We're delivering on the promises that the brand presents. And again, we could connect these dots here, because if employees don't believe in the brand, they're not going to deliver on the promise. If customers don't believe in the promise of the brand, or there's a disconnect, you're going to have that. Okay, Tom Treanor from Treasure Data, bring us home. What's your tip?
I'll bring us full circle. So it's a tough hiring environment. So connect with your talent team to make the case for investments in brand building. That way you have an ally, and the employees want to work for a bigger, more well-known brand. So you're kind of killing two birds with one stone there.
I love it. All right. So we got so many great tips. Make sure your employees are engaged. Make sure your customers are part of it. Make sure you're measuring it, and you're not just doing awareness, but you're getting into the detail. Ultimately, this will help you solve the topic that I mentioned at the very beginning, is getting and keeping talent. All right. I'm Treanor. That's your Tuesday tip. For more great tips, check out CMOhuddles.com, where CMOs are going every day to share, care, and dare each other to greatness. Peace out.